for you on the desk. We've got two teams set up on stage. It's going to be Cloud9 and Fnatic.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, these are two teams that have been through a lot of roster changes over the last 7 to 8 months. Both actually almost an equal amount of roster changes, some of which include some of Fnatic's players going over to Cloud9, or at least one of them. So definitely some interesting storylines on this one.
I actually really like the roster changes that both teams have made. I thought that kind of Flusha pulling them. I don't know if it was like a cut, or I mean, you have to imagine Flusha probably left voluntarily. But the message he wrote about, where he was in terms of his mindset, in terms of where he was in terms of his gameplay, he's come over to Cloud9. They've only had like one decent showing, which I think that's their only showing. But I think it was promising. I think this Cloud9 roster looks like it can be on the up. The question that is in the back of my head whenever I think of this Cloud9 roster is, realistically, how long are the Europeans going to want to stay living in America, away from home? If this team is going to stay together for the next, for the entirety of 2019, I think they could be very dangerous by the end of the year. But the question always is going to be, is someone going to get homesick? Is someone going to want to leave, go back to Sweden, go back, wherever Keo lives, France, England, wherever it is? I don't know.
There's also a change made that wasn't really announced publicly or said anywhere.
Oh, but you're going to drop the, you're going to dish out the dirt.
Because it's there.
Yeah, he is up there.
Rambo is behind the team.
Yeah, so it's been no secret that Valens has been kind of looking to getting out of the coaching. He's going to slowly transition into a new role within the Cloud9 organization. So I know they've been trialing some people, and this is one guy they've mentioned that they've talked to for a while. He has the mindset, and he has exactly what they're looking for in a coach. So we'll see how long this lasts. But definitely, it is cool seeing Rambo up there, formerly of Complexity, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a tall task for Rambo to direct this team, though. I mean, again, like ever since Stewie and Tarek left the team, they have just been through a lot of chaos. But I guess we're going to be starting with Fnatic first, and so this is a team that has been through their own chaos, right? I mean, the whole situation with Golden, despite having so much success with him way early on in the year, they still kind of did away with him as an in-game leader. They brought Exist in. You had Drake in and out of the team. Flush is obviously departed now, and the newest additions are Twist and Brolin, who were, the star players at Red Reserve, and before that, Godsent. And, Brolin in particular is a name that everyone kind of has their eyes on because he's so young and he's shown a lot of potential. And so far, I mean, they've only played 2 events. They put this on together, but impressive stuff. I mean, at Chicago, they got top 4. They actually almost upset Astralis in those semifinals and made the grand final, and they had it beaten Liquid in the best of 3 earlier in that tournament as well. So far, I mean, things have looked a bit promising, but it's just, I think their style of play isn't a very consistent one, and so you kind of wonder, is it going to be a hot day, or what do they have to rely on if it isn't?
I don't even think their style of play is fully fleshed out the way that they'd like it to be. I don't think they've quite, figured it out and done it enough for it to be a consistent way to win games. But certainly another team that did look like they had some promising results despite some of the roster upheaval. I think it's super interesting. That I was laughing about with someone earlier today, that run Fnatic had where they won Katowice and they won WESG in like back-to-back weekends, and like just straight off in like 10 days they won like $1.5 million, and like, well, time to cut the in-game leader. So I mean, it's wild times out there. It's the Wild West.
I mean, that game at IEM Chicago between them and Astralis was probably like the highlight of that event in my opinion.
It was probably the best series that we had that whole event, considering that the grand finals was a pretty big blowout as well. Yeah. Cloud9 obviously up here, you can see the roster changes. Brought in Zelsis, might be the face that
looks shorter.
Yeah, he looks a little bit shorter.
He's not that short in real life.
Well, that's unfortunate. I actually played him in a little bit of a Face-It Pug, before coming out here. He's got some skills. I'm pretty interested to see what he's going to be bringing to the table for this team in terms of what his production is going to provide. But obviously, I think the addition of Kiyoshima is amazing for this team. I think Kiyo's a super underrated player. Obviously, Rush and Automatic, I've been high on those guys for a while and what they can bring to the table. So I think still both of these teams are still kind of searching for that identity that they want to move forward with. But both of them at this juncture still very, very deadly teams.
Yeah, I mean, I think the problem with Cloud9 is that, I mean, they haven't made it out of the group stage of a tournament since April of 2018. That was Marseille, back when Finesse and Tarek was still on the team. And I mean, they've just been through so many roster changes since then, and we still don't even know what the story of Golden is going to be for this team. I mean, he's obviously still ill. They've had to use stand-ins. Like, this will be the 3rd tournament in a row that they've had a different 5th player on the team, because it was Valens and Refresh and now Zelsis. And like you said, Zelsis is definitely a guy that some people had eyes on from MDL. He was definitely a guy that showed some promise. He's more of an entry fragger, so maybe he can kind of pair up with Rush and try to see if he can help revitalize Rush a little bit and give them a little bit of entry power alongside Automatic, who's now opping, which is definitely a little bit odd for him to have to do. Definitely not the role he's known for, but he's capable. And then, about Flusha being an in-game leader, at least temporarily. And, he's always just been kind of known to call him a more simple, looser style, so you're probably not going to see anything too crazy. But I think my biggest concern is the individual form for a lot of these players on Cloud9 have not been up to snuff for a long time now. I mean, Automatic's been doing steady things, but he's still decreased his impact having to give up the rifle and op. And, you know, Rush has really struggled. Flush has obviously struggled many events in a row. So for me, it's just like, who's going to step up and actually be a star-level player for this team?
I don't necessarily think that's entirely fair necessarily to say. Well, I mean, they obviously objectively, statistically, their individual level has dropped, but at the same time, with this Cloud9 team, I pretty much threw out the majority of 2018. There was too many situations where they're playing with a stand, and too many situations where they just had months without knowing who their fifth was going to be, who their long-term in-game leader was going to be, and that's the kind of stress that, you know, Rush went through in Optic as well, and that kind of story of his career has been brought up a number of times, which is like, you can't be an effective player if you constantly have those question marks just hanging over your shoulder month after month throughout a year of this competitive level of Counter-Strike.
Yeah, I think the only team we really saw kind of take that questionable like element of their gameplay was and work it to an advantage was United. That was the only team we saw who was struggling to find out who their actual fifth was going to be, because they picked up Cooper and they were going to cut a fifth, and they didn't really know who that was going to be. That's one team we saw kind of capitalize on that. But here we can take a look at the picks and bans. The map's going to end up being, I'm trying to go through
Overpass.
the pictures. It's going to be Overpass.
Ooh.
That's a little bit of an interesting one.
It
Any
is.
team's usually not super fond of Overpass.
Not in BO1s either.
Yeah. I mean, Cloud9 did have a win on Overpass. I believe it was against NIP at Lisbon, and had a closer game against Navi there as well. And Fnatic, I mean, Overpass has been one of their better maps, I guess, so far. I mean, they beat Team Liquid on it recently, United at Chicago as well. But the thing is, it's hard to know much about either of these teams' map pools just because of all the roster chaos and just the lack of play with these lineups. But nonetheless, I mean, I guess Overpass is going to be at least somewhat in even ground, as best of ones usually are. You're going to band down to kind of the middle of your map pool.
This, I actually don't even, I think this match is pretty close to like a 50-50 toss-up,
Sure.
partially just because we don't really, I haven't seen these lineups play too much and don't really know a whole lot of what they're going to bring to the table. So, I mean, in that note, I guess I would just kind of go, I would go with Cloud9 as my winner, just because, you know, why not be a little bit patriotic when it's a coin toss in that way? But I do think this team is going to be is better than perhaps people think it is. And I think, you know, from all accounts, talking to the players, talking to the coach, the addition of Kiyoshima and Flusha is going well. So I think they're going to come out with a big game.
You're always good for that patriotic pick.
Yeah,
Rock, flag, and
I
eagle.
used to predict against American teams just out of spite because they were all, you know, not very good, and now I'm happy I get to be patriotic and do it.
All right, well, we've gotten Jason's prediction, Dust. We'll take yours, and then we're going to throw to the casters because this is.
I think for Overpass, this is a smoother transition for Fnatic. Like, Brolin and Twist are getting to play the exact same spots they did for Red Reserve, so they're going to feel very comfortable. Seeing them look very strong on the map so far in the games I have watched them play, I think they're a little bit more put together, whereas they have no experience with the five on the table for Cloud9. I mean, this is Zelsis' first time playing an official game, so I'm going to have to go with Fnatic just based on the information I have.
I am going to have to go with Fnatic as well, but we do have the casters standing by as these two teams are ready to kick it off. We'll see if Jason's going to be wrong. He probably is. Take it away.
Self and Emo, of course, going to be bringing you the action over on Overpass, which I think just in the pregame we were talking about where we thought that veto is going to go. It's kind of interesting that it's made it here, right?
We weren't expecting that to come up at all, especially because, you know, Cloud9, their team, like they were mentioning on the desk, having some real struggle with their roster. And Overpass is definitely a map that you need to prepare as a team for. Is Cloud9 going to be effective on this? I'm not sure. It's going to be a tough one.
It's difficult to say. I think that the kind of young blood coming in the form of Zelsis maybe might give them a little bit of a kick up the backside type thing, and that could be really good for them.
I definitely agree with that. The thing about, you know, you get that new player and that fresh player, that player that's coming up through the ranks, he hasn't been punished like some of the older players have been, right? He hasn't been through the ringer of, oh, that doesn't work. Oh, I shouldn't do this. His plays are his plays. It's what's gotten him to this level. So, yeah, maybe Zelsis is going to be that X factor, that factor that essentially is going to take Cloud9, the underdogs in this matchup, I'd say, to the top, or the victory.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's going to be a pretty interesting one. I kind of have to go with Fnatic myself, just that consistency of the roster. But we're about to find out. Getting into the first round here, I do believe, of course, Cloud9 starting off on that CT side, Fnatic over on the T side. A little bit of utility brought up by both sides, as would be expected. But for the most part, I think this is a relatively conventional start.
Yeah, we're just going to see one player holding outside towards that B lurk. It's going to be Crims just waiting on that as the rest of Fnatic flying towards that long A area. They're going to take it uncontested as Flusha, the only member on A, is currently watching the middle.
Yeah, a little bit of an aggressive push up from him, but like you say, they're all out towards long. Making a lot of noise though, so you'd hope a rotation would come in quickly. Obviously that connector area, the beauty of Overpass, it could definitely make for some fast rotations. That looks like what Fnatic are going to go for. A lot of information gained by them, and they leave that one player out towards long as well. And now kind of back up. They're sort of clearing everywhere out, I think. Better
This
safe
is solid.
than sorry, right?
Exactly, right? They've gone through the long, they've come through the close bathrooms, they've cleared out that connector area, and now we're going to see that A execute as exists, dropping that smoke in towards the hook, and flush it to start with a great shot.
Indeed, opening things up right away. That USB along with, of course. Flash comes in for him to try and find a few more. Target himself a second. Difficult to plant down. Go for reload. Eventually, he traded out. JW evens things back up. In fact, the rotations, of course, are in. The bomb going to get planted momentarily as Kiyoshima keeping it low. And unfortunately, for Fnatic, they do get that bomb planted, but it's just a little bit too late. I think they were already, you know, the Cloud9 guys encroaching on that.
Yeah, essentially with Exist dropping that smoke, you do see Fnatic have a little bit of life towards the start of that round, but Flusher with some great shooting, initially allowing those entry frags to go Cloud9's way. He eventually goes down. Yeah, Fnatic takes the site, but Flusher delayed them long enough that the rotations came in. Fnatic all bunched up around the truck area, really nowhere to go. This is going to be a great round out of Cloud9, get them on the board, but Fnatic answer back. They're going to throw an AK on the back of Crims here and let him do his work.
Yeah, certainly over the years been one of the most consistent players in CS.
Definitely, definitely.
Kind of interesting though to see JW, you know, he throws that money towards his, I suppose, old bro at this point. They've been together for a while, but I don't know, the AWP situation I guess we can talk about in a little bit, but at the moment it looks like it's not going to be coming out for a little while. Unless it comes from another player again, you know, that kind of situation.
It's going to be interesting. Are they going to lead with Crims, or are they going to have the Glocks go first and Crims kind of play that back angle and just pick off anybody that overextends? Right now it does look like we will be seeing Fnatic now moving up as a group with those Glocks towards that divider area. Flush on the other side, a great smoke comes out, and now they know the AK's on the field as Crims sprays.
Yeah, indeed. But then at the same time, are they going to think that Flush is about to find out? Find himself a double spray down, eventually traded out, but there's already teammates here in the form of Kiyoshima and Automatic to clean things up. It is all left on Crims. He's already found one, but I don't think that AK has really paid for itself as yet. Maybe a little bit more economic damage, but nothing coming. A clean second round for Cloud9 coming in. Yeah,
unfortunately not the greatest investment there. That AK only being able to pick up one kill, not doing too much economic damage to the C9 side. Yeah, it takes down an M4. But at the end of the day, I'm sure they wanted a little bit more out of that AK. Nonetheless, though, we will be moving into a buy round for Fnatic. And it's going to be interesting to see with, yeah, JW ended up going with the scout. Okay. I thought he might have gone with Galil, but he ends up getting a scout and a smoke.
Yeah, it still kind of works in a round like this as well with the weaponry that Cloud9 are sticking with. And Flusher especially really taking the cheap option on this. So that scout could certainly do some damage and best some of the weapons that are out. They're clearly feeling confident here. Oh, that nade, I feel like should have done a little bit more damage.
It should have definitely done a little bit more damage there, but nonetheless, we do have Crims towards the short B area, taking control. He's in that great lurk position right now. We have another player on Fnatic towards the connector right now, taking it very slow, very methodical. The rest of Fnatic just hanging out. They've taken out towards long. We are seeing Twist just very slow towards the middle area. Let's see how this one develops.
It's just like a pushing forward kind of default setup.
Flush actually read this round wrong. I don't know if he kept the USP on purpose, but maybe they thought it was going to be a little bit of a lighter buy here. It's going to be interesting to see if Fnatic do end up in the site. Flusha with the USP in hand, not going to be able to do much. Nice shot.
Yeah, beautiful reaction from Crims. Taking down Zelsis pretty easily. And now he's going to be a thorn in the side of that Cloud9 B hold. Flusher yet again actually manages to take down Twist, and an immediate upgrade for him. The AK
no
finds
way.
Another. The bomb drop.
Oh my goodness.
No way. Return on investment on that USP is huge, and he finds himself a fourth. Just closing the round out. I mean, what do we know at this point, Evan?
Hey, Flusher decided, you know what, this USP is all I need. He's going to go ahead and just pick up a 4K on the round. Crims forced to save right now, and what a tremendous effort from Flusha.
Yeah, definitely. Just a little bit of an off angle, given that opportunity, and just works with it.
Even on that angle, he was checked, right? It wasn't like he had a killed a guy in the back. He was checked in that bathroom angle, able to pick up that kill with the USP. Goes ahead, kills the second person by divider, keeps the train rolling, and ends up getting 2 more on the round. Great job by him.
Indeed, and that's kind of the type of play that's going to send your confidence pretty high quite early on, that you're able to get away with something like that. And at the same time, it's going to tilt your opponents, because
Definitely. All starting, they lose an AK buy round, all starting off a USP.
Indeed. Pretty crazy. There's the issue in the pistol round as well. Dealing with Flusher so far seems to be a bit of an issue for Fnatic. A little bit of a pause coming in, I would imagine, at this point.
Look at the smiles on the faces of Cloud9. They're stumped. They're like, how did you do that? He's like, I don't know how I did that. It just happened. Let's take it, boys.
I think they kind of left him there as well, thinking, right, he's going to be an information gatherer at this point. A little bit of an advanced position. We can rotate quickly across a couple players if need be.
Exactly.
But at least you're there to find out what's going on and use your ears, use your eyes. And then he's like, nah, actually.
I'm going to be the staple in this round.
Just going to win the round. Oh, damn. But yeah,
Great
I feel like
round,
I definitely need a timeout after that one. Talk things over, you know, and figure everything out.
Yeah, definitely a little bit of a pause coming out from the Fnatic side. We see some headsets off as well here, I do believe. So I imagine it might even be a technical issue.
Yeah, maybe it's generally a headsets off kind of thing is the technical stuff. But Cloud9 really raring to go. They're all looking pretty happy and
morale's through the roof after that round for sure.
Indeed, getting the first few rounds of nervousness out of the system.
I want to shout out the crowd that's been trucking through this. You know, a few delays early on, but the crowd's still very hyped through this tournament, and shout out to them for bringing the excitement.
Indeed, you know, it's certainly bringing the hype as well, you know. The Thunder Sticks, love them or hate them, it's definitely a really good way to just get the volume going up and show a good bit of support for the teams and things. And obviously we've got a lot of North American organizations here this weekend, so the locals going to be loving it.
Who's your favorite player on Fnatic?
A clue? On Fnatic?
Yeah.
Probably Brolin, because like I have sort of casted him for a little while in different teams and like lower down teams and things in certain tournaments, so it's like a similar kind of trajectory, I suppose. What about you?
Exists.
Okay.
Exists. Just from one point, I mean, he's a legend of the game, right?
Yeah.
So always love watching him play. What about Cloud9?
Probably Rush for me.
Rush?
I feel like, it's sort of since the early days, you know, of him like really making it, and obviously that major was like huge. I supported Cloud9 massively in early 2018, so it was pretty exciting, and just sort of like chatted to him a little bit this weekend. Seems like a nice dude as well.
Yeah.
What about you? I imagine you have like good connection with some of these boys.
Yeah, you know, they're good people. They're good people. But I'm going to say over the last few months, I definitely think Automatic stepped up, replacing that role that Skadoodle, that void that Skadoodle left.
Yeah.
You know, that op position that, you know, Skadoodle was so efficient at. But yeah, I'm going to say Automatic just because he's impressed me, taking on that role, you know, and just doing, I wouldn't say he's doing up and beyond what we all expected, but he's doing a great job at the AWP role. Yeah,
for sure. I mean, it's kind of one of those things where the AWP has a certain difficulty to it. At like a high level, it becomes almost like a different.
Yeah, we were talking about this before the game. It's one of those things where you know, he hasn't spent his entire career opping. It's something he picked up, and for him to go up against some of the best in the world with it and be efficient with it is something that, you know, you got to give him props for. It's not easy to do. It's not easy to do.
Takes a lot of effort, you know, and just completely moves you away from like maybe what you're comfortable doing, and you have to think about different things. I can't really take this peak without these certain factors, etc.
It changes how you think about the game, essentially, right?
Definitely.
But yeah, no, I think Cloud9, definitely after that Flusher round, off to a great start right now. It's definitely going to put Fnatic on a little bit of a hold. I don't think they're going to be taking it as aggressively, like we saw in those few rounds, right? Pistol round, they're just flying around. Then they go ahead and buy Crimson AK and say, hey, go get picks. And then finally on that gun round, all four of them just forcing their way up bathroom pretty much as soon as the round started, I'd say. But at this point now, after Flusha does that, I can imagine they're going to take it a little bit more slow. We're going to see a lot less spacing going down. Everyone's going to be really tight there, and they're looking for the trades. They need the trades at this point.
Yeah, that was kind of the major issue there. It was just kind of the second player coming in was a little bit too late. Flusher was able to readjust and get comfortable and set himself back up for another kill.
Yeah.
So it made it you know, that's kind of the straw that broke the camel's back type thing. And then eventually he ends up finding 4 and winning the round by himself. So yeah, it's just the little things can really make a big difference if they're not careful. And I think weaning that out early on is quite important. And another thing, like you say, they may be a little bit too overconfident coming into it, like early on with that second round bye, especially might come down to how comfortable Fnatic have been in the past, even with this lineup on Overpass, right? So just get it out of the system, talk about it, figure things out before it really starts running away from you, you know?
Definitely, definitely. But honestly, right now, I do believe this tech pause has gone on for just quite a while. Let me just peer over real quick. We got some admins. We got some admins around them right now, folks. So it's still going on. I guess we can just banter for a little bit more.
Yeah, yeah.
How have you been enjoying LA, man?
You know, it's been really, really good. I don't get out of the country much, but like this year with esports, I've left good old Blighty a few times around Europe a little bit, and here in America like twice. So it's hot. We hiked up to the Griffith Observatory.
Yeah.
Which was very steep and relatively far and blaring sun. So, and I'm a pasty white boy. It was it was hard work. It was hard work. I'll be honest, but like it was worth it.
Did you end up going inside the Griffith?
Yeah.
That's a whole nother thing too, right? You go from that view and the side, and it's honestly the inside's just as nice. Well, I shouldn't say it's just as nice, but it's interesting to get inside there and see what they got going on. So
if you're into science and all that kind of stuff.
I am into science.
Yeah, the Tesla coil was really cool.
Yeah.
They turned that on, showed that, and sort of like the history of telescopes and things is pretty cool. But for me, it was like seeing the Hollywood sign. I could probably have gotten a little bit closer, but I think it's one of the most accessible points.
Yeah, you can definitely get pretty close to that Hollywood sign. I've hiked up fairly close to it myself, and honestly, as long as you got a good view of it, whether you're right in front of it or you're far away, really makes no difference. Honestly, it's a beautiful view regardless.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. But I don't know. I'd like to come out more often. I'll say that for sure. I really do like the weather. At the moment in the UK, it's like rain and cold by like 5 p.m. So, you know.
Sounds like Toronto.
Yeah, I suppose so. But
that's why I left.
Here, everyone's like, it's really cold, man, and it's just a bit of a breeze for me, you know what I mean? So, yeah, it's a little bit of a different experience. But back to the game, I think that moving into this, I don't know where you sit on kind of how Fnatic will kind of perform on that CT side, because I think that's the more interesting part for me of Overpass. You can see some big differences in the more aggressive style that a lot of teams go for and the more like passive style. I've seen again, you know, like casting some of the lower down CS where some teams on the CT side can really fall apart because they just try and play it far too aggressively.
I definitely think CT side of Overpass is very difficult to play. It's a map where everybody needs to be on the same page. Rotations need to be on point. You need to know when your teammates are getting aggressive. You need to be able to help your teammates when they're getting aggressive. And it's definitely something that if you're not taking the time to, you know, go through all the steps, you're going to be punished for it. You're going to be punished for it. I think for Cloud9 on their CT side, I think that was a good start. They're showing that, you know, they're staying together. But now Fnatic moving on to their CT side, I mean, are they going to be playing aggressive? Is it going to mimic the first 3 rounds that we saw? Are they going to be getting up in their face? Are they going to be peeking towards Fountain, getting down towards that connector? It's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah, certainly. I think it will be interesting. I kind of have high hopes for Fnatic, so hopefully this tech pause slows down that momentum that Cloud9 have found a little bit early on, and also, like we said, if Fnatic can root out some of the issues that they had going on as soon as possible, then that would certainly be good. But yeah, it's a little bit difficult, kind of in the dark with what's going on at the moment, which is always fun. But yeah, I think I don't know where to put it on this one, because I feel like if Cloud9 can keep this up, you know, I wanted to say Fnatic were going to take it. I don't want to give like a hard scoreline. That's kind of a dangerous game to play. But I think that, you know, if maybe it gets like 5-6-0. If they can continue this kind of streak, win another gun round, then Cloud9 could really actually run away with the game.
Yeah, we'll definitely see Fnatic now onto the eco. Yeah. Right, so that's going to be the 4th round on the board for them. We'll come into another gun round. If Cloud9 take that again really strong, and depending on how, you know, if they don't get the bomb down, if really they spend every single last dollar and in efforts to get utility in that round. We could see them go on to now a force buy, giving Cloud9 another opportunity. So there is an opportunity for Cloud9 to start snowballing, start running away with this match. Remember, it is a BO1.
Yeah.
So when you get out there, when you get started, if you can keep that momentum going, well, you can find yourself pulling off a very easy win.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, there's always that issue of where if you kind of maybe the one risky force buy could actually end up costing you the game and therefore your position. You move into that lower bracket, and you know it really messes with, again, that mental game, that confidence.
Yeah.
If we hadn't have fought in that particular round, so I think at this point, the way that some of these rounds have been going, again, it is very early on into the game, as we look like we are going to be getting straight back into it. But I think talking of risky force buys, here we go. You know, these are the moments where it can be a little bit haunting.
And it's an interesting decision to see them do that, because even if they do win this round, it does look like Cloud9 has enough to buy up right again, right? So Fnatic going for this, it's a bold move here. It's a bold move. Let's see if it pays off.
Indeed. They've had a few moments to work things out, cool off. Hopefully the Flusher Plague is not going to be on their back again. Just a little bit of a slow start in this round. Not really a great deal going on again. Hopefully trying to catch someone getting aggressive, but Cloud9 do not seem to be playing that kind of a style. They don't need map control. They feel confident enough to sit on the side. Oh, that's going to be deadly. Here comes the hit on towards B. Rush caught with a nade out, I believe. Kirishima does manage to drop a couple here, and Zelsis still in on the site is going to be an issue behind that smoke. They can't spot him out, can't deal with him fast enough, but Brolon gets the advantage round the edge. 3-on-3 now. Looks like it is going to be a retake for Cloud9. Some slightly wide peaks coming in from JW, and the flank from Automatic. If he acts fast enough, this could be the difference maker.
This is everything right now. Ooh, and with Keel getting that kill onto JW now, this gives the opportunity for Automatic to start making his way out. Flusher now just patiently waiting for the next attack point, which is Automatic to take place.
Literally just got the bomb down a few seconds ago as well. They're not going to be expecting this as he drops. Crims leaves it into the 2-1 from Roland, and another from Automatic. Nade not needed. And a fourth round for Cloud9. A little bit closer this time around for Fnatic, but still very cleanly done. And a great read from Cloud9 to pull off that flank quickly.
Yeah, and I'd like to give props to Fnatic for the strat. I think they assumed that Cloud9 was thinking that they were saving, so Cloud9 would have played more of a passive setup there towards the graffiti, towards the spawn area. And you see those Molotovs come out from Fnatic. Great pop flashes into the site. They actually end up getting the entry kill. They're able to take down Zelsis as well, but a phenomenal retake from Cloud9 is actually going to get them the round win.
Yeah, for sure. Now we will see Automatic on the AWP. You gave him praise for this coming into the game. It'll be interesting to see, as with the bomb plant and loss bonus stacking up, etc. Fnatic are able to buy up quite easily here.
Definitely, and Zelsis now spots all three members coming out, so he's going to make that call. A little bit of a dumb HE right there.
A little bit. Eventually one of those wall bangs will land. For the moment, everybody seems to be hiding away on the Fnatic side. Of course, that quick rotational area, just moving towards B, and I think making it very obvious. They bait out a little bit of utility from the CT side, but not a great deal at this point.
And as we pass or near the minute mark on the round here, we are going to see Flusher smoke off that divider area, play a little bit more aggressively towards it. He's already done some great things here once before. Let's see if he does it again.
Maybe. Giving his position away a little bit. Does need to be careful. JW is waiting to burst. For the smoke to go down, trying to follow the traces, but can't really find Flusher here. Who again is playing this safe yet still kind of aggressive position, right? He's always a presence over towards bathrooms, but never jumping the gun too early. Hiding behind the smoke here, dodging the flashes. They will spot him out. Almost picks up that kill. It's all going to be up to Automatic, who's immediately traded. A 4 versus 2, as I think Crims maybe on the flank managed to pick up a kill as well. Bomb plant going to come in. Zelsis and Rush on the retake. There's money available for the buys. They could definitely try and go for this, but it's easier said than done. Yeah, Zelsis just caught looking the wrong way, and Rush, I suppose, could save. I think that's what he's going to edge towards in the end.
Yeah, he definitely should be going for the save here. No opportunity to win this round, especially in the 1v4 situation where you have 2 players towards that sand. But, I mean, Fnatic in that round, another hard execute, some great shooting, gets them into the site, gets them prepared for the post plant. And at that point, Cloud9 really has no opening to retake the round. Great job from Fnatic.
Yeah. Very well done indeed. It's kind of the risk, I suppose, of playing Flusher so far advanced, sort of on his own.
Exactly.
He can, you know, be that linchpin that just holds down the site, or at least buys time for the rotations. Or as we saw in this round, he just gets taken down far too quickly.
It would have been nice to see somebody maybe supporting and spraying through that smoke to kind of bait people to come through there, maybe doing some damage, or just ready to take the fight with Flusher, right, as they turn to him. But he was isolated, like you mentioned, and that is going to bite them.
Yeah, for sure. And he was like actively giving his position away by spraying through the smoke, and they were very aware of the fact like 3 players trained on where he could be. So,
but we do see the double up now. Automatic opting towards this middle. Flusher right behind him to support his teammate.
Yeah, really good reactionary play. Great flashbang over. Also managed to hide the repeak. A little bit questionable maybe, but now Flusher is given that room. The double spray, almost the third. Well traded to keep things even, but at least it's bought time for those rotations and made sure that the round does not run away from Cloud9.
Yeah, we are going to see a lull in the pace right now as Fnatic even it up into this 3v3 situation, or sorry, Flusher evens it up into this 3v3 situation now, and we're just going to see JW slowly aggressing this long.
Yeah, the contact AWP can be very effective indeed. Crims very close by to help him out. Ooh, that's a little bit of a shame for Kiyoshima. Looks away at the wrong time. Still Celsius Optimus though. Great read and a great headshot found into the 1 versus 1. JW drops that AK and is aware of the fact that a flank could be coming in here. Rush maybe needs to be a little bit careful. It looked like for a second he was just going to go flying around that corner. But again, timing does not work out for JW. He does, however, have that positional advantage. And looking to move towards B, or is he trying to bait things out?
Yeah.
He is going to go towards B and at least get the bomb plant.
Yeah, he just had an inkling that the flank was coming in, and he's going to take advantage of that. Move to B, get that bomb down. And he's ready for the short B aggression from Rush here.
I think he feels like, you know, if Rush had come in, it would have been earlier from, you know, from the B side of things. Great read from Flush, JW rather, and a fantastic headshot found in the end there. It's a little bit of a rough one for Rush, not expecting the off angle in the end.
Yeah, and I'd just like to talk about how Fnatic got the man advantage to start that round. It was a great pop flash that actually blinds Automatic, forces him back, cuts off that op angle. And when Automatic goes for the repeak, well, 2 of the Fnatic players are already on his far left. He's not able to swing over, and that gives Fnatic so much room after taking down that AWP.
Certainly, and after just losing a couple rounds, Cloud9 straight onto that eco situation. Just a few upgraded pistols here and there. They do make a massive difference, right? But all the same, I think this should be a good opportunity for Fnatic to start closing the gap.
The main point for Fnatic here, in my opinion, is that they keep as many guns alive as they can. Their money's really not set up yet. They've won 2 in a row, but they've lost so many people in the process that they really don't have a strong buy if they were to lose another round. So going into this round, I'd like to see them just try and keep at least 4 people alive, the majority of their players at least, in efforts to just start building some cash around a couple of their...
Yeah, maybe it's certainly doable. I mean, you see the stack, closed bathrooms. If Fnatic 1 or 2 players, you know, comes into the wrong angle, it could really cost them a few rifles. They're very apprehensive. I think they feel like they should have found someone by now. Obviously, going to be reading into this fact that it's either an eco or a weak buy. But they were expecting a little bit of aggression. It's a nice slow push coming in through the bathroom, so they're about to meet here towards this choke point. Very well done to pick up the first 2, but there's so many players to be expecting. Kiyoshima falls, however, it's all down to Rush. So far picked up 1, but only on the USP. You don't expect a great deal more. They know exactly where he is now as well, and there you go. The cleanup is easy enough. So just the 1 rifle taken down, and of course no save coming through from Cloud9. So pretty much perfect from Fnatic.
Yeah, strong eco round out of Fnatic. They're, like I said, keeping 4 players alive, able to build some cash around all of the members on that team. And now we are going to see Cloud9 most likely buying up into this round. It's going to be a softer buy as their money wasn't at its best point.
Yeah.
We do see the FAMAS on the field, not really too much utility, and nobody actually has kits right now.
It's a risky one. Going to need to find those initial kills and take the initiative. Celsius getting aggressive up long, I believe, as well, followed by Kiyoshima. So they've got a lot of information, a lot of map control here. It doesn't look like, you know, Fnatic are heavy committing towards B either, so it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, definitely a slowing down in the pace for Fnatic right now. They have Crims in a wonderful position here up by the sandbags. It does look like Fnatic will be opting towards that B-bomb site.
works out for them. Zelsis on the flank, but has been spotted out so far. This could maybe give them a little bit more of an inkling to move towards B or rotate up connector. I mean, it's kind of difficult to read into this round for Fnatic. Sure, if they'd have taken down that flank, it would have been good, but Zelsis smokes it, he runs away, and suddenly that little gap towards the short area is patched up.
Well, it's definitely giving Cloud9 a little bit of breathing room right now, as Fnatic is clearing every single area towards Playground, and that's burning time on the clock right now. They're down to almost 30 seconds left for this execute. The only silver lining when Fnatic executes in, well, Cloud9 doesn't really have any Molotovs. No smokes, really, to cut this off. Keo's about to drop his towards Bathroom, and that's the last of them.
Yeah, all they got is the bullets to land in the skulls. They're going to need to find the shots, of course. Is Twist going to expect Zelsis here? He does, but unfortunately doesn't win the fight. Kiyashima as well from Optimus, picking up 2. Again, Cloud9 go into this retake scenario with the man advantage. Exist trying to do all the work, but unfortunately cannot carry the weight. It'll be a 5th round for Cloud9. Not really enough time, I suppose, for Fnatic there. But like you say, they had all that utility. The logic is there to go up against a team where all they have to do is find the kills. Unfortunately, they're not able to do that.
Yeah, some great fragging there by the truck area from Keo. We are going to see Flusha come in at the end, pick up some easy Famous kills as well. Cloud9, well, they're going to get back on the board here with their 5th. And Fnatic, well, they're going to spend the majority of their economy here in efforts to get a buy round under their belt.
Yeah. See where this moves to. I think one of the things for Fnatic recently is just a little bit of a stagnation in the initiative for them. Sometimes they are relying on Cloud9 to make the first move, as it were, and try and read into that. Do like this boost. It's very spicy indeed. The crowd reacts nicely with a bit of an ooh and an ah, but unfortunately there's no one nearby to find.
Ooh.
That might have landed as well if you'd have actually thrown it properly. Bit of a shame.
Crims once again moving up towards the sandbag area. It's not really going to find much, though. It does look like Cloud9 playing very passive here, allowing the T's to do whatever they want.
This is a great little crossfire. I think they've read into the fact, though, that Crims obviously is on the lurk, but likes to just sit here on short and try and catch some people off guard. So they're really aware of that fact and don't want to reveal themselves. Yeah, Molotov going to push him away, give his position away at least for now. Again, really running down the clock here. There's a great deal of utility, actually, for both sides. So this could suddenly turn into a bloodbath. Depends on which team's going to come out on top of it. 25 seconds, 1 flashbang to start the execute. Not a big fan of that. Another one goes through. A lot of damage traded. As Zelsis and Exist both fall. Looks like Fnatic actually gaining a good bit of control here, but 1 kill can just end this round now. If they drop that bomb, this could be all over. 9 seconds remaining with the bomb on the ground. Kiyashima, an automatic, holding things down like absolute gods. Twist the only one remaining, but just hide. They don't need to fight him. And another round goes the way. Oh, and even the kill afterwards. That is salt in the wound. But Cloud9 read into it once again. Fnatic, that confidence just seems to be missing.
Yeah, that was a great rotation in from Automatic to support that whole spray down towards the short B area. Some great entries out of Fnatic, however, taking down Rush, opening up the bomb site, but unable to actually convert into the round there and even get the bomb down. That was a great defense by Cloud9. It's going to get them their 6th round and now force Fnatic onto an eco opportunity for C9 to start building some money up.
A little bit of a faster round coming in with these pistols. Thwarted by a Molotov, though, immediately. Kiyashima needs to be careful surrounding him here. Oh, and it's JW, the first man that actually takes him down. That could be huge. There is armor for Crims. He finds himself one as well. That MP Knight surely is going to fall eventually. This is looking good for Fnatic. 4 versus 2 going into... what is going to be a retake? What are these shots coming in so far this round? Everybody's just flipped the game on its head, it seems. You know what I mean? We had a load of passive rounds, a load of slow rounds, and now everybody's just taking the wide peaks and landing the headies.
Everyone's decided that the wide swings will be king at this point.
Indeed.
Rush now. Unaware that the player has just passed right by him here. He's going to aggress. Is he going to check it? No! Oh. Jeez, this is massive now. This could be it. Rush going back, still not checking it. Makes a little bit of contact, but here comes Crims. Missing the shots, finishing up the kill.
Woo. A little bit heated there for a second, but it comes out in favor of Fnatic. Gotta check those angles, boys. Rush really could have turned the round on its head, to be honest, but all onto Zelsis, and all he has is a UMP. Fully equipped for sure. No kit either. It's going to be a difficult one for him, I think, and he's also reading into the fact that it's the wrong bomb site at this point.
Definitely hard pressed to win this round. Maybe a nice HE right here.
Oh.
Definitely gets Exist to where Zelsis wants him here, and a nice kill from him as well.
Indeed. He gets the smoke on top of the bomb. Going to go for the tap. Crim's eventually obviously going to have to peek that. Sprays down, figures out. He can't be there in the 1D. Crim's pretty sure all his kills were on that Deagle. A 3K comes through for him, and Fnatic steal away a round.
I really like to shout out JW there towards that long A with that first entry kill, able to take down Keo, get an M4 into their hands. They're just going to keep rolling from that point on. A great round out of Fnatic, great shots from Crims, and they've got their 4th.
Yeah, it's one of those moments, that first Deeg shot comes in, you're on the pistols, you're like, right, let's go A. Let's do it. Everybody, you know, full throttle after a great little start. And now this is a very broken buy indeed. Ooh, Flusher, unfortunate there. I think that may have been through the smoke or from Party, but either way, it's even back up. That AWP, though, is going to be the interesting linchpin for this round.
Yeah, definitely like this buy here out of the Cloud9 side. Just picking up some armor, getting behind Automatic with this AWP. They've got some great utility as well. And now that Fnatic knows that there's an AWP on the field, they're going to have to be very meticulous with how they approach these bomb sites. They can't give Automatic the free kills that you know he's going to capitalize on.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, look at this flank. Rush made his way into T-spawn here. He can plant himself at this point. Is he going to keep going is the real question.
This could be huge. He manages to drop that bomb and backs away as he spots a second, readjusting. Twist wants to find this trade, does, thanks to the low HP. But it's information and, of course, a kill found. Gap in the smoke for JW, not quite able to capitalize.
Nice
Certainly getting intense here, though. To drop in towards that B site by the looks of things. Once again, that superior weaponry for the T side certainly going to help them out, and they're kind of reading into the fact quite well that Automatic is going to chomp on wherever there is action. So moving up towards A here.
Oh, Keo heard all of this. He's already made the call as well here, Harvey.
Indeed, flashbang as well. A little bit failed by Twist. He blinds up himself. Automatic already there to drop Froan. But of course, JW's like, I'll catch the rotations, boys, but now he is out in no man's land with only 10 seconds remaining, going to have to go for that save. So once again, the 1 or 2 angles that get overlooked by Fnatic, it ends up costing them the round.
Yeah, I definitely want to shout out Rush there, who kind of, in my opinion, made that round begin, because once, yeah, Automatic gets the first initial kill, but when Rush pushes towards the T-spawn and he ends up getting the frag with that bomb down, at that point, Fnatic thinks, okay, yeah, we traded Rush, but they probably rotated back over to that B bomb site. Let's move to A. While Rush is aggressed and goes down, Keo makes his way up to the front of bathroom.
Yeah.
With time left on the clock, Fnatic really can't check or overextend to check corners like that. They run right by Keo. Keo makes the call to the rest of his teammates, and there's the round.
Those little things really do make the biggest differences. There's a supermarket, I don't know if you guys have it out here, but there's a supermarket over in the UK, and their little catchphrase is "every little helps." And I feel like that really applies to CS quite well, you know what I mean? Like, just the tiny little things.
The extra second you have, the extra flashbang you throw, the extra call that your teammate makes, all of those affect the outcome of a round. Definitely.
Indeed. All right, looks like it was just a little bit of a tactical timeout on this one. I can hear everybody moving and getting back into the action, so always nice. And I think, I would imagine from Fnatic, right, deciding on whether to go for the buy here, and it's kind of when you're halfway in, you might as well go the whole way at this point.
Yeah. 3 AKs on the field, a couple pistols, plenty of utility behind Fnatic right now, and Brolan is going to get very aggressive and beat that Molotov towards middle.
Good God, he doesn't beat the flashbangs though. I think he's blinded for a good 5-6 seconds there. There's quite a few coming through. Nice bit of control gained here, but Automatic again taking an aggressive angle. 2 landing for him. There are trades back from the T side, but they're not quite good enough. For 3 versus 2. And once again, trapped. Pretty much nowhere to go. It all happens in a matter of seconds, but it looks like Cloud9 are on top of this round once again.
That second kill out of Automatic. It was a nice little flick.
Indeed. Looking spicy. Ooh, Keo as well with the timing. Might just be able to find one hit. Okay, fluffs it a little bit. At least spots the bomb out. JW's gotten his hands onto this orb. Could be dangerous. Oh, or not. See you next week. Kiyoshima with the 1 tap. Absolute filth. A 1 versus 3 now for Crimson. He's already tagged up a wee bit, so this is going to be hard. And there's so many angles for him to check. He's got smoke, and that is it. Falls to rush as soon as he spots him. So another clean round, surviving with that bare minimum of 3. Cloud9 looking really hot here over on Overpass.
Yeah, this is exactly the start they wanted right now. You can imagine Fnatic really not finding an answer. They've attacked that B bomb site a couple times. They've pushed towards the A bomb site more than a few times as well. And they're just not finding any success here. It's been a lot of individual talent coming out of the Fnatic side that's got them their round wins, whereas Cloud9, their rotations have been on point, the trading's been on point. It's an overall team effort, and it's showing success for them at an 8-4 scoreline.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's one of those things, I think there's pistol round wins as well. You can't rely on the consistency of individual plays, right, on a round-to-round basis, unless maybe you're simple. But other than that, it's pretty difficult. This is not a bad result in all fairness for Fnatic. They don't pick up any kills, but they get the bomb plant, and for about $600 invested, that is a pretty good return.
Definitely. And there's the coach Valens, soon-to-be non-coach, actually, as we see the soon-to-be coach, I say. Rambo sitting behind him and kind of shadowing what's going on.
Yeah, indeed. It's a bit of a transitional period.
Yeah, and I mean, that's something we can definitely talk to. The fact that Cloud9, not a stable roster.
Yeah.
Throughout the majority of this year, you have a player like Skadoodle saying he's going to be retiring, but he's still playing with the team, so the team's kind of what's going on there. Then all of a sudden, you know, Golden comes and essentially goes, right, because of his health issues.
Yeah.
Really rough year from Cloud9. It's good to see them still going strong.
Yeah, maybe a good start. Could see them having a consistent few months. Would certainly be nice, you know. Obviously one of the better brands and one of the bigger brands. Yeah, that's a little bit awkward. The flash off the balloon.
Doesn't go through it, just breaks.
Unfortunate, but here comes the hit on towards B. However, 2-for-1 trade so far. Automatic trying to hold things down. The MP9, though, it's so awkward. He ends up falling, leaving Brolan on 1 HP. That bomb going to go down, but Flusher on the AWP. You know, this is not really an ideal retake scenario. I feel like they have to back off and just save what they have going into the next round.
I mean, Fnatic absolutely steamrolled through that site. A couple pop flashes in, everybody swinging out towards that monster area, splitting through the short as well here. Cloud9 really had no opportunity to shut it down.
As well, I just kind of want to say, is it maybe a little bit of a misread? Because Automatic on that MP9, right?
Yeah.
But Rush is out here with 7.8k. Could easily have dropped him.
Yeah, maybe it was a misread in the sense that they thought it was going to be an eco round or something going down, but they come out with the buy here, and I mean, even in that situation, Automatic, I mean, he dropped the guy to like 1 HP right away,
That's true.
and then every other bullet missed.
Yeah.
So, that's just rough for him.
Yeah, it doesn't quite know the spray control maybe, or panicked. Difficult to tell, but unfortunate nonetheless.
Sometimes the gun takes the wheel.
Indeed, sometimes it does. Sometimes you gotta let it. Sometimes it works out, sometimes maybe not. But yeah, hopefully he's not too disheartened by that 1 HP that comes up at the end of the round. Nonetheless, going into the final round here, it's a pretty nice Molotov, and JW smoking it off. It actually cost him a fair chunk of his HP. I think he was towards the back of it, so could have dipped out quite easily. So a relatively good start for Cloud9. Obviously they don't have that information, but still, always nice.
Oh, and with that smoke fading, Brolan actually sees it now, and that opens up the B-bomb site to be attacked here, and Zelsis getting one, getting traded out. It's on to Keo.
Indeed, 4 versus 3. Looking good for Fnatic into the final round. That 6th round could really make a difference. Looks like the bomb going to go down any moment now. Automatic not quite fast enough to deny it. Ready for the peak to come through, though. They're going to get smoked off towards heaven. Makes his job a little bit more difficult. Again, being a man down, the AWP on the retake. Oh, no Molotovs. It's going to be hard to make their way back in. The wallbang lands, but the kill not coming through for Automatic. We managed to drop Roland eventually, but I think this is going to be easier said than done here. Trades coming through into the 2 versus 2. Keo taking the forefront, as it's now all on to JW. There's a smoke in the way. They know vaguely where he is. The defuse tap comes through from Automatic, left on 6 HP. They line up the flash as well. JW secures the 6th round for Fnatic. Only just by the skin of his teeth, but that could be the difference.
Tremendous effort from JW to pick up the round for the Fnatic side, but a great retake coming out from Cloud9. Definitely not something that we saw them even really getting into. We thought maybe, you know, they'll pick one up and then they get traded out, and it kind of goes that way until Fnatic wins. But Keo, some great shooting. I love that wall bang as well coming out. We're going to have a 9-6 finish to this first half in favor of Cloud9.
Yeah, it's good. Could have been better in places. There was a few messy rounds kind of in the middle, and then towards the end it started to become nice and consistent. But certainly going to be some weight on this pistol going through, and Fnatic going to need to get off to a good start on that CT side, because again, it is the harsher of sides. You know, it's a lot easier to just have everything crumble, even just economically, and they really need to have a game plan set out for that CT side quickly. Otherwise, Cloud9 might end up just steamrolling the second half.
All right, and as the second half gets underway here, it's going to be interesting to see what Cloud9 opt to buy. It's going to be Flusha getting the utility, the rest armoring up by the looks of it. Rush, yep, he was still yet to buy, but he's going to go ahead and grab it. Exist, double flash in a kit. It does look like they're favoring that B bomb site to begin this round.
Yeah, a little bit quickly as well by the looks of things. Making a lot of noise early on and then move towards short. This might be another case of, you know, baiting out some utility here and there. Crim's in the advanced position this time around. Looks away in the last second. Does manage to land the first headshot, but unfortunately not trained on the angle. Had to play reactively. It doesn't really work out too well for him. Twists as well doing the same. The 1-for-1 trades, the control of the B bomb site falling out of the hands quickly of Fnatic. Celsius, the jump and heady comes in. Roland left on 1 HP yet again. Seems to be familiar with this. A little bit aggressive around the corner, but what more can he do? It will be Cloud9 taking that pistol. It was looking good, you know, trade after trade, but eventually that kind of works out for the T side because you're just able to get the decent post plants.
And even in that round there, Zelsis gets the 3K, but he almost gets caught out. You saw him peek down towards that pit area. He ran out of ammo. Yeah, you saw that force. Right. You saw Fnatic. They're like, okay, he's out of ammo. I'm going to trade. I'm going to force that, try and catch him while he's reloading. But Zelsis just gets that reload off, gets that perfect headshot, and actually cements the site for Cloud9.
Yeah, and I mean, Brolan, he picks up one, tagged down to 1 HP, and it's kind of, instead of thinking, okay, I can wait here for my teammate and let him bait me, he just tries to, again, force the issue and hopefully find a kill, but obviously it's pretty difficult to do that when you're on such low HP.
You can be blown on and just fall over there with that much HP, but
yeah, man.
Fnatic with the initial stack towards B, they're going to call an audible here and move on towards that A bomb site. Not a bad idea either. Keep all 5 USPs together. You're not going to do much when you're all separated, so let's move as a unit. Hopefully we can find an overextending T together.
Indeed, it could work out as well. It looks like for now, you know, they're waiting to catch some of that aggression off, but weighting themselves a little bit more to the A site.
Cloud9 moving up towards this bathroom now as we pass the 45-second mark on the round here. Being led by that MAC-10. Flusha, ooh, little spray that got out of his control as well there, but he is able to take down Twist, and here comes the execute.
Yeah, left on low HP is Flusha, but I think this superior weaponry should ultimately carry them through. They're so blind or blocked off by smokes there, it's going to be pretty difficult to make their way through. That's a bit awkward. JW manages to find one, but the round's over in a matter of seconds, really. Clean enough again. That bare minimum of 3 is met by Cloud9 and a relatively clean anti-eco from them.
Yeah, I mean, moving into that bomb site, they all stuck together. A great pop flash to initiate that hit, as well as the smokes landing towards truck, make it a very easy approach for Cloud9, and they're going to get their 11th on the board. Moving into this gun round, however, we're going to see the UMP and the MAC-10 stay in. Some aggression out of Fnatic to get them the man advantage.
Yeah, this is the proactivity that they need at this point in time. It works out early on. They're able to back away and keep that advantage cleanly as well. As you can see, it's so important to find an initial 1 or 2 kills because they have no utility going into that possible retake situation, and the man advantage is the best advantage for them at this point.
It's curious though, Fnatic's keeping 3 towards this A bomb site. Cloud9 about to execute out Monster. See if Fnatic can hold with only 2.
Nice little smoke. From pretty far away. Kind of a staple though, if you're going to be hitting this B site, you need heaven written off. Here we go though, Cloud9 perfectly moving in, picking up the first 2, and the only 2 players on B as well, and everybody else, like you say on that Fnatic side, kind of pushed up in a relatively advanced position. Crims is here early, but is it going to be early enough? They've already moved their way into really good post plants, hidden away. No utility yet again, really, to speak of. No kit. I think this round is pretty much over at this point. You know, they've wasted too much time trying to find information that Cloud9 are just not giving them. The face comes in from Rush initially, but a good return. Into a 3 versus 2 is Brolan and JW just going to save, in fact. So that will be all she wrote. 12-6. Cloud9 off to a storming start.
Yeah, and I want to imagine that, you know, Fnatic keeping 3 towards that A bomb site after initially getting the pick so aggressively is what kind of bit them there. As, you know, if they sent that extra man over towards the B bomb site, now that they've done their job towards A, it could have been a different hold going forward for Fnatic. Unfortunately, they don't do that. Cloud9 executes on only 2 people B. Zelsis with a great entry kill there through the smoke on that player just towards that short bridge. And they're going to go ahead and get their 12th.
Yeah, if there had just been one more man there to play a bit of a crossfire.
Utility or something. Yeah, exactly.
It really could have made a difference. Unfortunately, the incorrect read this time around. So it will be a little bit of a quasi-buy off the back of the saved rifles, a little bit of armor across the board, but ultimately, again, it should be another round for Cloud9.
Celsius made his way out very aggressively towards Monster. He's going to keep this train rolling. He's going to get dinked, and that's going to prompt him to fall all the way off here.
Yeah, maybe it's kind of difficult, I suppose. The MAC-10, as you can see, that Flusher has kept a hold of is generally that information gatherer, but I suppose hopeless at long ranges, so...
Yeah, you saw Flusher peer on into the site. I think he actually spotted that player in water as well, and he's like, well, what am I going to do? Sit here and start tapping with a MAC-10?
Yeah, exactly.
Let's just pull back, make the information call, and go passive.
This is their game at the moment.
Ooh, a little bit of aggression towards the short B here, perhaps?
Maybe. They want to. But I think they're just hoping that they can call the right bomb site at the right time, you know, and play into that. And it looks like, at least for now, with only 30 seconds remaining, don't see Cloud9 making some kind of a fake play here. Celsius is going to be leading the way. Flashes and teammates to come following on through. A couple of trades, actually, from the CT side. Staying alive, Twist does more and more damage. Drops that bomb, in fact. JW in from heaven. And goodness, Fnatic just secure the round like it's nothing. Those few pistol players, really a problem.
I'd say the issue in that round there was Cloud9 didn't use too much utility on that execute. They had the nades, they ended up drying out. Yeah, they got a couple entries going forward, but because there were so many gaps further on in the site, you had the player in pit, you had a player in heaven, you had a player rotating through spawn. None of that was smoked off, and Fnatic are able to set up crossfires left, right, and center in that round.
Indeed, a bit of a faster reaction now from Cloud9. This is quite possibly, as a friend of mine would say, one of those key swing rounds. A blessing in disguise as well, perhaps, for Cloud9, you know, losing that one round, but they've got a good lead. If they can get a hard reset in, it could really work out for them. It's not a good start, though, as Exist drops Celsius. A lot of damage traded back onto the CT side, but at the moment, they hold that advantage. Oh, Brolan needs to be careful not to give it away, however. Nice little return Molotov. Is he going to be ready for Flusher to have pushed through that, though? That's the real question. And kind of peeks out. I swear he would have still been reloading at that point.
Yeah, I don't think he expected Flusher to actually make the play in front of that Molotov, and that's what's going to catch him out. Flusher just forcing it. He does take a little bit of damage, but doesn't deter him from getting the frag here. Crim's on the re-aggression as well now.
Yeah, and I think these low HPs now are going to be more of an issue for Fnatic.
Definitely, definitely.
Because things are evened up. And Crim's the full HP player, taking an advanced position, taking matters into his own hands, perhaps. Again, it's one of those risky plays. It could change the tides of battle in his favor or possibly end up losing him the round. But here we go. Finds the first. Not ready for them to be so far pushed up, however. A nice little flashbang would have been good for him there. But he was the only one on the A site as well, actually. Hadn't noticed that, so it gives away so much control. And now I think with that bomb going down, this is once again Cloud9 in the driver's seat. There's kits available, sure, but look at these HPs right now, Evan. I think this is pretty much over for Fnatic.
It's a lovely shot back and forth from both Cloud9 and Fnatic here. Twist is making his way out. And he's going to take down Rush. This is getting juicy here, Harvey.
Automatic, though, is in a bit of an off angle. Manages to drop JW easily enough. Twist trying to find the bomb, but unfortunately cannot do so. They're not sure whether he's on it or not. He does get on it. The flash going to go down as well. Automatic out of ammo. A second remaining, but Automatic, he gets it. That retrieved AK wins them the round. A great, smart little play coming in from him. He doesn't panic. Stays cool, calm, and collected. And Cloud9 with a key clutch round coming through.
That got dangerously close there. That got very dangerously close there. Automatic runs out of ammo. Thank God that AK was sitting at his feet for him to pick up. Able to finally close out that round, and Cloud9 is just going to keep this train going here. Look at this force buy out of Fnatic as well.
It's kind of desperate, but you sort of have to go for it, right?
Yeah, I don't blame them. Look at Cloud9's money. They realize that if they win this round, Cloud9 do have to go onto a save. And if they don't, well, they can save one and then come back at it again, just keeping them, or go into OT, I should say.
Indeed. We'll see how it goes. These are the kind of rounds, though, those Hail Mary plays that can often work out. Teams get a little bit complacent with their lead, or perhaps the pressure gets to them, and suddenly a crazy play from a Fnatic player might just deter them a little bit. Twists on the AWP, not going to be expected. A very interesting angle to take care of towards short as well.
Love this angle. Very hard to trade it out. He gets the first pick, and he's out of there. There's nobody left.
Ooh, given his chance. Unfortunately, kind of looked away at the last second. Kiyoshima was tagged up elsewhere, so it doesn't really land the shot at all, unfortunately. And that nice angle, you know, good for a one-done sort of spot, is now given away, and that's Fnatic. Again, on the back foot, having to react to how things are going to play out. Rush a bit of a push-up long, works out, drops Brolan. And that's pretty much the entire A defense. Sure, he's pushed up aggressively again, and no one from Fnatic rotating. I think they've just immediately called to save here.
Yeah, just a straight gamble stack right now. Zelsa's going down. He's going to make the call that there's at least 2 people towards the B bomb site still. You're going to see Cloud9 shift into 6th gear, get that bomb down, and we're into the post plant with at least a couple people flanking, as JW is already on the road.
Yeah, this could be interesting. JW manages to catch Kiyoshima off guard. Automatic trying to get the trade in, misses the shot, gets taken down. JW, aggressive plays working out so far. The key thing here, though, is there is no defuse kit available. And these 2 players, one playing inside the smoke, not ready for everybody to be on the flank clearly, but Rush in a great little position to stop things. Double spray down comes in. Flusher, meanwhile, had dropped another. The bomb too far gone, and Twist, he has to back away with that AWP.
Great little setup there from Cloud9. Rush, I mean, staple in this round, starting off with a great pick towards long onto Brolan, and then now, as Fnatic move into that site for the retake, a great double as well, effectively sending Fnatic, or Twist, I should say, the sole member left, into that save. So Cloud9, 2 rounds away here from taking this map off Fnatic.
Indeed, that's the kind of moments as well that split the good players from the great players. You know, you see that one JW flank comes in, he's super aggressive, he picks up 2. That's where you could see players maybe trying to overcompensate, maybe trying too hard to trade. But Rush, he's at long, he's like, right, I'm going to let Flusher be the distraction play, and I'll peek when I feel is right. And of course he gets it down to a T. The double spray down is clean as you like. The talking going on, I believe.
You might as well, right?
Yumpy.
Yeah, as you get to this point in the half, right? You're 2 rounds away from a loss. You haven't really burned any pauses in the second half. You might as well take one now before it's too late, right?
Yeah.
Maybe collect yourselves. Maybe somebody's been noticing something. Maybe somebody's been noticing something, and at that point, I mean, they're going to say it during the pause. Maybe that's what they needed to actually get themselves back into the game and start rolling.
Yeah, indeed. Hopefully for Fnatic, they can put up a little bit of a better fight towards the end, but this is exactly what I talked about at the start of that second half. You know, on the CT side, there's a little bit more to worry about in terms of rotations and aggression, but the main thing is that economy. You know, if you cannot get that off the ground, then all of a sudden you just find yourself with buys like this, where 1 or 2 players might feel confident and good in the round, but everybody else is going to be playing a bit of a different style of Counter-Strike or with a different mindset, and it just really makes it difficult to be like, right, let's do this strat that we worked on in practice when we had 16K available.
Exactly,
you know?
right? When everything was going right and we could buy whatever we wanted.
Yeah.
And everybody was comfortable, but it does look like Twist getting very comfortable towards that connector, are able to take down Keo, start this round off in a man advantage for Fnatic.
not all bad. Taking the initiative, might as well in a round like this.
Look at JW.
He kind of wants to keep the Nova, right? Ooh, exists. Spots out a couple players at Monster. The smoke not quite good enough to allow him to keep his position. Bit of damage traded through. JW as well was still in connector. Brings it into a 5 versus 3. This is looking good for Fnatic. Automatic does trade one back. The bomb has yet to go down. It's a little bit chaotic here on the B side. So many nooks and crannies to work out for that T side. You've got to be careful not to give them the fights, though. They do well to work off of each other. All onto Rush. He pulled off a pretty nice round previously, but it's all going to come down to timing. There is a flank.
Ooh.
Oh, he moves through the smoke at the perfect time. It is soon to dissipate. He's making his way towards A. This could be perfect, and this could be a real kick in the teeth for Fnatic if they're not able to cleanly get this one. Obviously, that door opening, did they hear it? That's the real question.
I don't think they did. We are seeing Crims with the walk rotate, JW doubling up right now. So they realize something's going on. Rush is going to get that Molotov towards spawn as well, so that's going to give him a couple seconds to get the bomb down here, but we will see the retake coming in right now.
Couple of flashbangs available as well to allow him to keep moving in. They're both coming in from the same angle, not going to check him properly at Optimus. He readjusts and finds JW. Clean headshot for the 15th round of the match point. 8 of them available right now for Cloud9 as Rush once again seems to pull off the impossible.
Beautiful, beautiful out of Rush, getting out towards that A bomb site, separating himself, giving him as much space as he can. Really that Molotov, though, is what allowed that round to develop. Molotoving spawn, getting that bomb down, a great flash from him as well. Moving to truck, Fnatic does not expect it. He gets a very easy kill for that first kill on the retake, and then the second one, well, it just comes his way.
Oh, and of course the B rush just to add salt to the wounds. So far keeping things even, but pretty much lost control of the site here. There it is, the nade to help Flusher out to find the double. To 4 versus 2 to keep Fnatic in the game. It's all on to Brawlan, 1 versus 4. There's some tagged up players, but this is certainly easier said than done. Immediate trade from Automatic, 16-7 as Cloud9 with the surprise overpass map pick actually pull it out of the bag.
Yeah, the underdogs in this matchup, they're going to get the win here. Tremendous fashion there, confident, and Zelsis, their new joint. He wasn't quiet through that match. He was doing some great things. He was making it happen for his team. You want to see that out of somebody you're just bringing in. You want to see that confidence out of them, and that's exactly what Zelsis brought. Great match out of Cloud9.
Yeah, certainly a little bit interesting to see. Like we say, it wasn't the map that we expected, and even just in the general matchup, because of the shakiness and inconsistency of the roster and you know, the transitions of players and coaches, etc. For me, I felt like if Cloud9 were going to win, it was going to be a close game. Yep. That second half was pretty much a blowout in their favor, to be honest. I think, one round picked up by Fnatic and a few that were close, so really not ideal in the end, unfortunately.
Who was your MVP of that match?
Ooh. I gotta say Flusher.
Yeah, I was going to say Flusher too.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Flusher.
I think that first half, he was a bit of a linchpin to make sure that they could pick up some good early rounds. And all that kind of stuff, but in the second half he was, and Rush as well actually, I think comes in at a close second.
Definitely. Do you think that's it for us?
I believe so, yeah. I think we're going to be thrown over to a quick little break, in fact, over towards the desk, I think. So he'll be hopefully breaking things down, and I will throw it over to Bok, of course.
You know, there are times when it's okay to be wrong.
You know,
I will happily be wrong this time. I sided with Fnatic, as did you, and obviously our Patriot there on the end picked Cloud9. Well selected.
And it's always good to be right. So
this is true.
Yeah.
But this is one of those times.
We found ourselves in this situation.
I'm happily wrong here. Cloud9 came out swinging.
They really did. That looked good. Obviously, Flusher had some great rounds early on, as they were just saying, the casters before they threw it over to us. That round he started with a USP, ends up getting 4 kills, picks up an AK-47 and just batters him. So that's pretty cool to see Flusher doing that against his former team. And I think there were some nerves I saw occasionally when the camera was able to stick on Zelsis. But I mean, you have the teammates around you. You have, what is it? 4? All of his teammates have won a major. at least one major. So you have major winners surrounding you to pick you up when you have that kind of struggle to ease you into this transition to pro level of play. So that was very cool to watch. And again, Keo with a great game as well. I just said in the pregame, I think he's criminally underrated, and he's shown again he's got some quality there at this level.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the few times in a long time I've seen pretty much everybody on Cloud9 at the same time have a strong individual performance. I mean, Keo's been doing it since he joined the team pretty regularly. He always on a match going to probably perform, but some of the others have had their struggles, but not in this game. I mean, they got a hot start, both halves. They won both pistols. They got at least a 3-0 start in each half, I'm pretty sure. So good hot starts. They also were able to reset Fnatic a couple of times in key moments. Like you noted, some big plays. Flusha early on had a couple. Automatic had a big op round aggressively on CT side as well. So you get big plays on gun rounds, and then you're resetting your opponent's economy, and you're getting the hot start to each half. And then Rush, I mean, he had a 1v2 clutch to kind of help in the game there in the last few rounds. So, yeah, big performances from everyone, winning their rounds at just the critical moments that you need to keep control of the economy, and just they never really lost momentum in that game. I mean, there was like a small little spurt of comeback from Fnatic at the end of the first half, but other than that, I mean, it was the Cloud9 show.
Yeah, I mean, the clutches, obviously, you're not going to get those every time, and they're always great to have. But even just like the retakes that Cloud9 had, like the 3-on-3s over towards the B-bomb site, being patient, waiting for Automatic to flank appropriately, that showed some really good poise and some good discipline and communication between a team that's still relatively new playing together. So, I mean, all good signs. And like I said, I think if this Cloud9 roster, if these you know, the 4 guys, and then I guess we'll still have to wait and see. The jury's not really out on Zelsis, but this Cloud9 team by the end of the year, if they keep improving, can be a very, very dangerous team to some of the best teams in the world. So this is, I think very quickly teams are going to realize leading into the major that you cannot underestimate what Cloud9 is able to bring to the server.
Yeah, I mean, coming into this, we probably looked at Zelsis as like, okay, well, what's Zelsis going to do? Were we disappointed by his performance, or is he kind of along the lines of
I think it was a neutral performance for the most part. I mean, I think that he had his moments. He almost had a really sick clutch, like inside the smoke, and then wound up getting spammed or something like that, or just barely getting 1-deeked. So he definitely had a couple of moments where he seemed to be, you know, not falling to the pressure, like still making the right decisions, making the right moves, just getting a little bit of unlucky in a couple of aim duels. So, I mean, I would say it's like a neutral performance. I don't think he took a huge hit with this performance, but I don't think he, like, knocked your socks off either.
I think it's too hard to tell without being able to go back and just watch his POV in the demo, because we just didn't see enough of the play. But, you know, he seems, I know they have confidence in him, obviously, or else they wouldn't even have brought him here. I mentioned I played against him in a Face-It Pug, and he's got some skills. So I think the jury's still out, but, I mean, it looked pretty good, looked okay.
He wasn't needed in this game. I mean, that's really the point to make. Everyone else had like 18 or more frags and, you know, good ADR, well positive. So, again, I don't think that he was really even called upon too much.
And what was the big issue for Fnatic? Like, I kind of thought that Fnatic would do a little bit better, especially given that the map was Overpass. What happened?
I mean, I don't know what happened, but like Brolin and Twist looked so good at Chicago, and even at that, was it PLG event that they went? Not a lot of competition that they won.
You're the one that watched that. Yeah.
Anyway, so at those 2 events, Twist and Brolin actually were performing really, really well. But in this game, they did not look themselves at all. I mean, Crim's performed as you would expect. He's an absolute machine, but their other kind of key players didn't really seem to get off on the right start. Again, they lost pistols, both halves. That's never good. Getting reset in critical moments is never good. So they definitely battled against a lot.
Well, we do have one more match for both of these teams, but for Cloud9, they kind of drew the short straw. To make it into the playoffs tomorrow, they're going to have to beat Astralis in a best-of-1, and that's going to be coming up on stage in just a bit. We're going to throw things to a quick break. When we come back, it'll be that match here on stage at the iBUYPOWER Masters 2019. Stay tuned.